It is the ancient Greeks who were credited with enlightening their contemporaries about natural causes of mental and behavioral disorders. Chief among the early Greek contributors were the physician Hippocrates and the philosophers Plato and Aristotle. Hippocrates became a clinical observer of human behavior and was responsible for the first medical writings that systematically classified mental problems and attributed them to natural causes. The science of mental health took a giant step backward during the Middle Ages as demonology and other superstitious beliefs prevailed. Scientific explanations of the Greeks and Romans were rejected. During the period, thoughts attributed abnormal behavior to unnatural and unscientific causes. An increase of abnormal behavior also occurred toward the latter part of the Middle Ages. Asylums in London, such as the Bedlam, were for the mentally ill. This became entertainment to children to visit the mentally ill in asylums. People in asylums were chained, starved, beaten, kept dirty in the dark. It was treated like a trip to the zoo. Teasing was allowed since the mentally ill were considered insane and possessed. There was the establishment of national organizations dedicated to the welfare of individuals with mental disorders. The most significant was the establishment of the National Committee for Mental Hygiene, founded by Clifford Beers and the psychologist William James. The post-war era gave new change to the general special education movement when a lot of disabled veterans came back to the U.S. to be integrated into society. The federal government wanted to provide financial aid and rehabilitation services to the veteran. Parents of the children with disabilities became more visible and more willing to seek help. The National Association for Retarded Citizens was formed in 1950. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act came in 1965. The Rehabilitation Act of 1973 gave way to Section 504. Education for All Handicapped Children Act, PL 94-142, was created in 1975. It mandated A, free appropriate public education, also known as FAPE, for all children with disabilities between the ages of 3 and 21 years old. B, individualized education plan. C, education in the least restrictive environment. And D, physical education as a direct educational service. PL 94-142 was amended and reauthorized in 1983. It became known as PL 98-199, which added services for the transition of secondary students from school to work. The Second Amendment led to PL 99-457 in 1987. In 1990, it became PL 101-476. This led to Americans with Disabilities Act, which was established in 1990. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 was amended in 2001 when President Bush signed the No Child Left Behind Act. Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act of 2004, also known as IDEA.